So vast catalog, I can go through and I can do queries of the same type from the GUI to say, hey, I want to look for, I want to go through and I want to see all the files that are in here, and I want to go through and write my queries this way. Let's say I want to look for a file that has a particular name, or I'll look for files that are owned by a particular user. I can write those kind of queries here. Again, if I want to go through and I want to do this from from an external query engine here for this, I can go through and I can run those types of queries as well. So let's say I want to know what are the top users giving me the space that are running or consuming space on the catalog right now. So I'm going to say I'm going to look for that. I want to get the owner name of the file. I want to get the sum of all their files here. And I want to go through and I want to order this by group, and I want to get the top 20 ones. I can run this query, and this query is going to go through. This is running against the vast catalog real time. If you think about what needs to be done, it's got to go through and look at all the views, got to look at all the element store information in there, and it's going to go through and run and get that information from that. But I can also go through and get things, say I want to look at the top 20 users of space because I'm going to look at the top directories. I can get total file counts, 10 largest files, things like that. We can write these kind of SQL queries and get this data out there. So those are some of the different things we can do that. As an example of what data can be presented out, again, we do have a Prometheus exporter that can be configured. This can be accessed from the API to go through and export this data. And this kind of data can be exported out to a external like Grafana instance here. And this here is the kind of the example as to what we had going on before. So this is taking the data from this same cluster, looking at it from Grafana, looking at it from different things. So I can go through and look at my statistics per particular user here, where I'll see, these are the users that are going through and using this. And this data here, let's see our users here. Based on this, so we'll be able to get that kind of data out from here. So very powerful stuff, very, very powerful things we can use. We can use some of the audit information as well. So I can say, hey, these are the types of activities that were done on the system here, the amount of data read or written by a particular protocol, or total data read or written. We can all extract that from there. So very, very powerful for that. I'm wondering why my query did come back there. So my query did come back here. Took a little longer than I would expect. We'll have to see why that was. But this tells me here, these are the top 20 users on the system based on the amount of space that they're running. So I see that, hey, the vast data user is using that. Mr. John Gorski is using quite a bit. James McCarrick is. I'm using quite a bit here. But if you think about the type of queries that would have to be done to go through and troll the entirety of the file system, the entirety of the element store across all the usage types that are out there, that could be quite complex. Very simple, very easy to go through and do this via an SQL type query. So pretty powerful stuff.